Hi guys, happy fall. This is my breakfast. I would like to read you a story. The Rolling Muff of Grosse Isle. The Rolling Muff of Grosse Isle. A bizarre legend comes down to us from the little island of Grosse Isle. As the story goes, a middle-aged man grows tired of his frumpy wife and begins carrying on with a younger mademoiselle. Nothing too strange so far for our times, but our paunchy paramour lived in the 18th century New France. He couldn't seriously consider divorce as an option. He concocted a plan to kill his wife, keep her fortune, and marry his sweetheart. He lured his wife to a swampy area of Grosse Isle, and he murdered her. That's not a good thing. She lost her fur muff. I'm so sorry. Can't keep a straight face. She lost her fur muff during the struggle. And not wanting to leave behind a clue, the faithful husband backtracked, tried to hunt it up. An 18th century muff had little in common with the modern diminutive hand warmer. I wouldn't assume that it did. Wealthy bourgeoisie lady would have worn large muff, fox, or sable. Many of the larger muffs covered about a third of their owners and incorporated a ribbon suspended from the neck to help support the muff and free up the wearer's hands. Sorry. Keep in character. Seriously, a muff encompasses the entire body supported by a ribbon. I know, I should know better, but I can't help myself. It's such a good story. Returning to our crime scene, the murderer finally spotted the muff and reached to pick it up. Just before he could reach the muff, however, the muff rolled away from him. Not deterred, he bent down and reached for the muff again. Once more, it rolled away. The man continued to chase the muff for a while, but it always rolled beyond his grasp. Then, in a shocking turnaround, the muff began to chase the husband. He's getting chased by Muff. Chased him right off Grosse Isle. The ordeal so terrified the killer that he fled back to Detroit and confessed his crimes. Oh, that's a pretty non-climactic ending. The muff continued rolling around Grosse Isle, each turn spewing forth the stench of rotting death. I know there's a certain level of maturity that one has to retain in life. I've got to read that line again. Scary stories are this time of year. And this is a very scary story. The book is Weird Michigan and The Rolling Muff of Grosse Isle. And that is actually a town in Michigan. The muff continued rolling around Grosse Isle, each turn spewing forth the stench of rotting death. Several victims of the rolling muff sightings returned bearing the stench of the grave on their persons. Such a fate befell one of the Tremblay brothers who came back from fishing Grosse Isle with more than just a story of being chased. The unmistakable odor of rotting flesh from the muff gave silent but convincing testimony of their tale. One tale similar to those above emerged from the Prohibition era, when many smuggled Canadian liquor into Detroit. Oh, lost my spot. 2 men landed on Grosse Isle with a shipment of the goods, only to be turned back by the olfactory persuasion of the rolling muff. I didn't realize this would be so good when I started reading it. I just read the title. Oh, my goodness. Gross Isle remains today a peaceful and sweet-smelling community, largely untroubled by the stench of the rolling muff. May it ever roll on. Good for you, little muff. Check this out. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I could not help but share that story. I am not going to explain anything about it. I will just let you take from that where your mind goes. Scary story for fall. The Malodorus Muff of Gross Isle. Now it's time for me to have breakfast. Happy fall season. It's my favorite. Love you guys. YouTube.